Want to eat healthy but know how to grill meat right? I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, step one, let's open the grill and turn on the propane. We're going to turn a burner on and ignite it. All 4 burners. And then we just shut the lid, preheat 5 to 8 minutes, depending upon your grill. All right, so today we're going to start with chicken because that's going to be the most readily available protein source for most people in the fitness world. So we're going to begin here. What I have in the middle was all my chicken, and then to the right is going to be Chaz's chicken that I'm going to make for him, and we're going to fully season his, or mine's going to be plain. So let's get to butchering it. Step 1. Make sure you have a sharp knife and a knife sharpener. It's gonna make butchering these chicken breasts, especially if we have to butterfly one, which I'm gonna show you how to do, very easy. If your knife is dull, you're just gonna hack the meat up, it's gonna fall apart and look like you put it through a meat grinder. We do not want that. So let's sharpen our knife. All right, now that the knife is sharpened, I wanna get rid of, if you look, you see all that like dangly fat right there? I'm gonna cut that off. So let's butcher a few, and then I'm gonna find probably the biggest breast we have here. I'm gonna butterfly it so it can make it even easier and quicker to cook on the grill. Okay, so let's butterfly this. So if you can tell, the thickness of that breast is drastically larger here than it is here. So what's gonna happen is, if you cooked to where the top part of this chicken breast was done and ready to eat, this is gonna be burnt to shit. So what we're gonna do is try to make it one even piece of meat. So all I'll do, I kind of hold it and pinch it between my fingers there. I get the blade of the knife, and I'm gonna cut vertically down here. If you watch close, what that's gonna do is create almost like a book, right? So it's folding the book open. So now what I want to do is just lightly make some incisions here and work my way down. Just like that. And that folds open. Perfect. Now, if you look at that consistency of the breast, it's much more even north to south. And that's going to give for a better even cook, and you don't lose half of that breast of being burnt. If I was going to eat this chicken fresh, I would go ahead and season it. But since I'm not, I literally ate right before we started making this video. Chaz, on the other hand, is. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you how I would season some of these breasts to throw them on the grill. So today, we're gonna start here with some Himalayan pink sea salt. Again, you'll watch, I'm gonna be very liberal with this because it's gonna make it taste amazing and give it even more flavor. So let's get to going. Okay, salt done. Next up is gonna be our garlic powder, then onion powder, and finally, some smoked paprika. Now we're gonna flip and repeat. Because I'm super OCD, I'm gonna do it in the exact same order, even though it probably won't change the taste. Can't risk it. Each meal's too important. All right, so I'm gonna sit the chicken down and clean the grill. So as you can tell here, I let this grill get super hot, all the way up to 650 degrees, because when I clean it, it's gonna make it a lot easier. So now that I'm out here, I'm gonna turn the grill down to medium, so right in the middle of the temperature. And that's gonna get us to about 300 to 400 degrees before we throw the chicken on. All right, so now what we're gonna do is start these layering from the back to the front, and I'm gonna put them all at an angle. If you think about a clock, it's gonna be like 10 degrees. So here. Just gonna layer them pretty close together because we have a lot of chicken to cook today. This grill cooks darker and more charred to the front. So I'm gonna put these smaller breasts from Butcher's Box that I'm gonna eat to the back, and I'm gonna put Chaz's larger breasts in the front. All right, now they're all placed on there. We're gonna do 5 minutes aside, and then we'll rotate. All right, so what I can't emphasize enough is just getting practice with your grill. There's so many types out there: charcoal, infrared, propane, the one like I'm using here. And each time, even though I switched and got the exact same brand, the exact same type, but when I got this grill right here, my wife even said, like, your meat doesn't taste as good as it used to.
Your meat doesn't taste as good as it used to.
And I'm like, I can't freaking figure out this grill. So it took some practice. And by practice, I meant at least a month before I got back to where I felt comfortable cooking all the meats on it and getting them to the right temperatures. So don't ever, get pissed off, like try it 1 or 2 times and like, man, that meat tastes like absolute shit. It's no good. I'm done with it. Like, just keep trying, because it will take effort and practice, just like anything we do in life. So again, never give up on the grill, because it may be just you need more practice on it. All right, the next step, we're gonna need to flip this meat. So right now I have it at 10 o'clock. I'm gonna literally flip it to 2 o'clock. And what we need is some nice tongs. So these are metal. They make silicone, but those just never tend to work as well. You'll find the meat slips, or you can't grip it as well. And the last thing you want is to put a different char on the meat, because what you're gonna find is I'm gonna give it a nice checkerboard effect with how I'll put that on the grill. So if you think about your food tasting good, you also want it to look good and be appetizing to not only you, but if you make it for someone else. So again, it's worth money to invest in some of these tongs. I got these off of Amazon, really cheap and inexpensive, but they are metal and they're not gonna burn me. So you hear the timer going off, and that's because I typically been doing a lot of things. My phone's going off with client emails and questions, so I wanna make sure I don't let this meat burn. So always set a timer, use your phone, works really easy. I'm gonna start at the back because those are the first ones I put on. So again, all we're gonna do is flip that bad boy to 2 o'clock. The one in the middle, that's gonna get a north to south treatment. And look at that beautiful charring of those seasonings in the front of that grill. All right, 5 more minutes. All right, time to flip round 2. So if you notice, that grill got really hot. It's hot here, so what I want to do, I'm going to purposely leave this grill cover open for a minute, and that's going to bring the temperature of the grill back down. So with these, last time you remember I turned them and rotated. This time I'm just going to simply turn. All right, so stereotypically, if that grill temperature didn't get too hot, and again, mine did, so I'm going to turn it down just a little bit more. I want to leave that grill cover closed as often as possible, because that's what's going to seal that temperature and heat in and also cook it evenly. As opposed to if I had the grill open, the top of the chicken isn't getting cooked as evenly as the bottom. So with the lid shut, it's going to give it a much more even cook, and it's going to lock in and seal those flavors. And the very reason why I set a phone alarm is so I don't get trapped in emails. Let's go flip that meat before it burns. All right, so what you'll see here is I'm rotating these breasts as well. That one right there is damn near perfect. All right, 5 minutes and they're toast. All right, here we go. It is ready to come off the grill. Let's load onto the pan. All right, so the reason I have the pan here is to catch all that dripping. Now, a lot of times people will just throw this in a big Tupperware container warm and then pop it right in the fridge. To me, that's gonna give you a lot of chicken juice and runoff, and this makes the meat not taste as fresh. So what I wanna do is I have this pan lined with aluminum foil and then a metal grate, and then all those drippings are gonna drop down on the aluminum foil. I ball it up, throw it in the trash. You don't have to worry about cleaning the pan, but it's gonna make your chicken taste a lot better. We're gonna let this cool down before we load it into Tupperware and put it into the fridge. Be sure you like, share, and subscribe to follow along for more videos on how to cook your meat and your food as tasty as humanly possible.